What's going on, guys? I'm Shizwack, and I'm back with another Should I Buy It, where I take a game on your request, break it down, rip it apart, and give you everything you need to know to make a sound decision on that purchase. Let me waste my money so you don't have to. Today, I'm covering Frozen State. Frozen State is a top-down, isometric survival game. That's pretty much it right now. I can't even say there's a real action aspect or anything else really, because it's purely just survive in a frozen state. It takes place somewhere in cold-ass Russia, and you just gotta see really how many days you can survive, and that's pretty well it. It's early alpha. It costs around $10 right now. For what it is, it's well worth the money, and I'm going to show you why. And you'll see here that I can basically make a new game or continue a game. You can have one game running at a time, and if you go new game, it just kind of overwrites your last game. I'm going to go new game so I can show you what's what. So right now we have 3 characters to choose from to play as. You'll see in the top left corner it says each of the characters has his own strengths and weaknesses, which may considerably affect the playstyle. So the only real difference between them is some attributes that you would otherwise allocate, but they're kind of preset, and that's basically what you start with. So I know Maria there on the left is more stealth, and Stas and Ingvar are kind of similar, but I know Ingvar has the most health to start off with, so I am going to go with that. So you load in and start in your house. The controls are pretty basic. You use your right mouse button to kind of swing it around. It actually works very well with the WAS and D keys. I find running around the maps are quite comfortable. I'm never finding the camera too cumbersome, so no complaints there. And around that you basically have your sneak mode, which is spacebar, your shift key, which is run. I always leave caps locks on, because that lets me run anyway. There's really no point to walk unless you're sneaking, which I don't really do much of, but I'm sure that will play more into effect later when there are more monsters in the game. Monsters. I say monsters, I mean mutants. So, is this zombie survival? No, this is mutant survival. This is a post-apocalyptic setting, like I said, in a cold-ass Russia, and there are mutants. So whatever the fuck happened resulted in different types of mutants all over the place, and that's really who you'll be fighting throughout the game. I haven't run into any other survivors, no NPCs, nothing like that yet. The game is purely single player right now. It's a dev team of about 3, I think, and for 3 people, I must say they've done a hell of a job. So I'm going to start off by showing you what they call, I think it's a Luke 12. So, remind you of anything? Can anyone say Pip-Boy? This is it. So you have everything from your inventory, which is pretty straightforward. Weapons, armor. This goes with survivability items, edibles, sleeping bags, campfires, that kind of thing. And these are all your crafting components. Your skills. As you fight and scavenge, it seems, you get points here. For example, to increase melee weapons, I need 15 points. Your map. Pretty easy to use. Every time you want to look at your map, you are going to have to open your tab button, open this device to see your map. You actually have to click over on the map tab. I found that a bit cumbersome, but not a huge complaint. Manuals, of course, if you want to get into that, you can. Info. We have, well, obviously these tabs are associated with this side. So info, pretty straightforward. Your inventory, what you have equipped, and your conditions. Crafting. Okay, all different kinds of things. I mean, there's not a huge selection of craftables yet, but there's enough to make it interesting. All of these weapons, you can find other weapons. These aren't the only weapons in the game. There are a bunch of others, guns and such, out around the world. Your journal, which I haven't found anything for yet, and buildings. Yes, you can build structures. I've put a few hours into this game so far, and I haven't come close to being able to build a structure. So I don't even know if I've ever found a big plank, or even a small plank for that matter. Large 2-story cabin. Now, you would want to build these somewhere else out in the world. You can travel around the map, which I will get to, but for now I'm in my home, so my home is kind of my base, but I'm just assuming you would use these structures if you wanted to set up other, like, safe spots or bases in the world. Workbench, that becomes key for upgrades and all that fun stuff down the road. Let's walk around and explore. Now, you'll see I have this green icon, and it basically controls where you're going to face, and it controls, like, if you want to loot something, you have to get right up to it and put your icon over it. This doesn't indicate to me that I can loot that. I literally have to look. Press E to loot. Nothing there, whatever. Let's keep looking. You'll notice there's the heart up in the left corner, and which would represent my health, and there is a thermometer, which would represent my temperature. That is probably the biggest component to this game. A sleeping bag. Hold E to pick up. Sure. You can rest the nights away. Be sure to build a fire, because if you're not building fires, you will perish. All kinds of lootable items. There's all kinds of shit to craft with, to eat, to fix yourself up with. Alright, so I'm just going to loot everything, and then I'm going to show you a bit about crafting. Bit about making fires, because fires are going to be your lifesaver. You're going to be making them all the time. You want to make sure you have lots of pre-made campfires in your inventory. Let's equip some shit. You get a right click on stuff to give you options. What do we have to wear? A light survivor's outfit. You can break things down to get cloth and such. Got my sleeping bag. So we got a few things equipped. Now, let's craft fire, for example. The grayed out items I cannot craft. And you can max it out. You'll see here components. Very simple. It works very well. Let's just make a couple to start. 5 is good. Alright, they're crafted. That's all. No wait time. It just crafts. And I'm going to put it over here because that is generally where I'll sleep. The fires don't last forever. I think they're about 12 hours, if that. You've got to equip it. Equip. So you can do that, or you can just right-click set up. But I like keeping that because I'm using them so often. I think 4 and 5 switch between my equip items, but I just push Q, which brings about this. And then I push E. And then you can walk up to it, and if you were to, you could choke it to put it out, which I think is going to come into effect later, maybe to avoid attraction and that sort of thing. But if you hold E, you examine, and then you can cook with it. So I don't know if I have anything I can cook right now. Okay, so you basically would load a cookable item on there and hit cooked. You also will be melting snow a lot. There's piles that you can kind of scavenge out here in the open world wherever you see snow, and with those you can melt that fresh snow down into water, and they turn into flasks of water. You don't need empty bottles or anything to bottle them. They just automatically turn into flasks of water right now, which works, you know. Magic? Maybe, but it works. My bed. Eat a rest. You can choose your time. It's getting dark out right now, so I'm going to try to sleep past the dark. So it's as simple as just building a fire beside your bed and then sleeping in your bed for the given amount of time. You're going to want to sleep the nights away. They get way too cold to survive in. So you're going to be looking for a room to hunker down in and just kind of sleep the night away with obviously food in your inventory and fire going beside you. Time to go for a walk. Now, before we go out there, I'm going to make some bandages because they can be your best friend. Bandage 4. There we go. Info. Equip. And it's in my other item slot. Gadgets. That includes flashlights, watches. Alright, some doors, and I think you can build doors that have key codes on them. So, in this case, there's a hint. Hint, hint, right here, 1927, that this door will use. So I hold E. If a door is locked, you would also hold E. There are lockpicks, I do believe. And you simply enter the code. 1927. Enter. Lock is opened. Out into the cold. And does it ever sound cold? First, we're going to scavenge around. Well, look at that. Big planks. Here's some snow. So you hold E, and you keep holding it. You'll see on the right there, it tells you that you're extracting it. That is probably the most valuable resource. It's important to note that all this stuff is random, so there's not always a pile of wood here. Sometimes there's two. You don't always start in the same house. You start in different areas of the map. There have never been any mutants to find on my property that I've seen so far. Snow. Looted every time. That green area is to exit the map. You just walk onto it, and it will ask you, would you like to access the map? The environments are cool, no pun intended, and the map is quite interesting to explore. You find apartment buildings or, you know, train yards, all kinds of post-apocalyptic things. We're going for a walk with that axe in my hand. To attack, it's simple as a left mouse button, and you swing in the direction you want to go. To shoot, pretty easy, right? R to reload. Here's the map. You can start anywhere on this map. It's random. It seems to be anyway. I mean, sometimes you'll end up here, sometimes down in the bottom left. It always starts you somewhere different, which makes it interesting. Are these areas random? I have no idea. They might be. The blue are areas you can explore, obviously. And you'll see here you have your food, water, temperature, and rest, if you're fatigued or not. Let's go explore it. Ruins, crossroad, whatever. Let's do it. Alright. First, I'm going to make a fire just to warm up quickly. I usually take a quick look at my map. Okay, structure here, structure here, structure here. So if I turn this way, it should be over here. I'm also keeping a very careful watch for mutants. There's one. See it? Right there. I'm not even going to go near there yet. I need to eat. Eat. There. Coffee. I just try to avoid mutants. I mean, there's no real... I guess you can get them for the XP, but it's not the only way you gain XP. Doesn't seem to be anyway. I could be wrong. Now, this isn't Diablo or Titan Quest. There aren't treasure chests around every corner. Fuck all around here so far. A bookshelf. Wow, this place sucks. Okay. There's a couple shelves over here, and a giant mutant there. See him? See over there? We're gonna get back on that map and keep traveling. I don't have enough equipment to handle mutants right now. I want to make sure I have more bandages than I do. You can also get poisoned from mutants, so there's like germicide bandages. Yes. And what's neat is you could just walk around and go discovering. Kind of reminds me of, what was it, Fallout 1? Oh shit, look at that, I'm freezing to death. Let's explore. Let's set up camp. See, that's red. That is not good. Now, the dangerous part about what I just did is I'm in the middle of nowhere, and there tends to be lots of mutants in the middle of nowhere, so I'm going to find my way out of here. I'm just following the edge of the map. Oh, I got lucky. Alright, here we go, guys. Found a nice, more appropriate location to show you. Alright, some structures. You'll notice here, too, there's a carry weight. Now, the carry weight's actually quite high. You can carry a lot of shit. I don't know how realistic that is, but... hey, it's how it is right now. Oh, god damn. Oh, god damn. I'm poisoned. Now, to unpoison, you need active carbon, I think it is. Or charcoal, maybe? Do I have anything that can help me? I do not. So I'm going to stay poisoned. Always a good idea to close doors behind you. Keeps the cold air out. They do a once over, make sure there's no monsters. I hear one. And a bit more about eating. Now, as you're creating food in the crafting menu, like you'll, for example, a pot of borscht, or a pot of rice, or a pot of spaghetti, you create it here to mix it together. Ingredients go together, and then you make that on the fire. So, like I showed you before, you just hold E to open your fire, and you drag the pot onto the fire. And then there's a little time bar that goes with it. It's fast enough, and you then have cooked food. Cooked food is more sustainable than junk food like candy bars and crackers. Oh shit. Oh shit. No match for Ingvar. And we now know that mutants can break down doors. That's kind of neat. There it is, guys. Frozen State. Another should I buy it. Hope it helped. It's a great game. It's fun. It'll keep you busy. For $10, well worth it. $10. And there's, from what I've seen, frequent updates. The devs are very involved on the Steam forums, so it's definitely worth taking a look at. Questions, comments, additions, throw them down below. I'm wide open for constructive criticism, so please, if there's any way I can make these videos better, if you want to see a video covered for a game, send me a message down below on the discussions page on my YouTube channel, or hit me up on Twitter. Thanks for watching. I'm Shizwack, all one word. Hit that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter. Have a great one, guys. Peace.